What's going on, everyone? My name is Brandon Haneline, and today we're going to take a look at the Jeep Wrangler Adaptive Cruise Control and the Forward Collision Warning System. We're going to find out its benefits and features and why it's much safer to use than your standard cruise control. I'll show you what happens when you get too close to someone. Watch this. Now you see that? I didn't even hit the brake. I still have not touched my brake or gas, and it has now brought me to a complete stop. All right, let's get started. Now, there are some key features to this adaptive cruise control, and so let's go over them right quick. The two main things are the actual switches themselves. Right here are the cruise control switches, and then up here behind the mirror is this large box. This large box houses the adaptive cruise control radar and the actual camera. We'll go over that in just a few moments. Now, in the instrument cluster, there is a, if you scroll down here to the number 4 area, there is the driver assist, the adaptive cruise control, and it's going to give you a little more information here about your status. Now, let's take a look in the actual Uconnect radio here. We're going to find more in settings. We're going to go to safety, driving, and assistance. Now, right here, we have the automatic emergency braking. This is the forward collision warning. Now, if you check this box, it's going to warn you. Okay, it's going to beep on the dash, which we'll see that here in a little while. And it's actually going to brake. It's actually going to apply the brakes for you. Now, you can turn that off, and you can only have it just to put the message up in the center console, or you can completely turn it off. Now, right here is where we can take it near, medium, and far. Now, that's how far you want the sensitivity for the actual braking of the forward collision warning system. I've got mine set to medium. If you have it set to far, it seems to go off a lot more than it should. And if you've got it set to near, it seems like a little bit too close. I have found that the medium seems to be the sweet spot for this setting. Now let's move on up here to the box that's here behind the rear view mirror. This is where all the magic happens. And guys, I want to show you a little Easter egg that you may or may not realize. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 slots. Now this represents the 7-slot grille in front of the Jeep, but also allows the camera and the radar to dissipate its heat. Now the two things that are in that box, the camera and the radar, are very important. Now what the camera does is the camera looks out and tries to find an object. Okay, it sees a pedestrian, a bike, anything it sees in front of it, it can tell what that object is. The problem with that, it cannot tell how far away that is. Now the radar actually sends the signal out and back to measure how far away that object is. Now with those two working conjunction together, we get the adaptive cruise control. Now in that system is that forward collision warning. That's what I was talking about. The camera, let's say it sees a pedestrian, okay? Then it tells, the radar tells you how far that pedestrian is away. It sees you're moving X amount of miles per hour. So it does its little algorithm and says, we need to apply the brakes. We're getting ready to hit something. All right. That's what makes this adaptive cruise control so safe. Now let's go ahead and get started on our test drive. Now I'm going to put ourselves in different scenarios to show you how the vehicle will behave in certain conditions. Now I do not advise the way I'm driving. I just want to let you know what can happen in these certain conditions. All right, let's do this. Now let's go ahead and go over the controls for the adaptive cruise. There are several buttons here that are different than these buttons. This is your standard cruise control. This is your adaptive cruise control. So we're going to press this button here to turn the cruise on. As you can see, it says ACC ready. Then we're going to press the set button to actually set the cruise control. So now, as you can see, we have the cruise control set at 72 miles an hour. And there is a vehicle in front of us. See that vehicle in front of us? It's not an old Willis, but it is a vehicle. Now, having that said, as you can see here, I want you to show you here, these little green bars right there. Now those green bars, also you can see here, are right here. All right, so these mean 1, 2, 3, 4 car lengths. So I'm gonna go down. As you can see, when I'm pressing the down button, this means I want to be 1 car length away from the person in front of me. Now when I go up, this means I'm going to be 2 car lengths, 3, 4. So as you can see now, there is a vehicle there in front of me. and I'm set to 72, but it's now bringing me down to 68 miles an hour. So I'm keeping that distance away from the person in front of me. Now, as soon as this guy moves, okay, it's gonna pop back up here and try to get me back to 72. So I'm gonna change lanes. We'll see what happens. Change lanes with no one in front of me. All right, kicks back up to 72. Now I'm gonna go ahead and go to 2 car lengths, and I'm gonna see what happens here. I should get back up to 70 and get a little bit closer to this vehicle. And that is exactly what it's doing. Now I got the cruise set at 70, and I'm gonna simulate someone pulling over in front of me. Check this out. It applied the brakes for me. It said you're too close and alerts the driver that you need to apply the brakes. Now that is what makes adaptive cruise control so safe. Now guys, as you can see, this is a huge safety advantage for the Jeep Wrangler that we've never had before. I want to show you something right here. Check this out. All right, now I'm at 66 miles an hour. This vehicle is stopping in front of me. Will this Jeep Wrangler come to a complete stop using adaptive cruise control only? Let's find out. I am not braking or applying the brakes, nothing right now. Oh gosh, this guy turned. Let's see what happens. All right, I'm turning with him. All right, I still have not yet to apply the brakes and or gas. This is all doing it by itself. Let's see what happens. I'm 4 car lengths away. What's going to happen here? Is it going to bring me to a complete stop? Guys, I still have not touched my brake or gas, and it has now brought me to a complete stop. ACC may cancel soon. ACC is canceled. It's been 2 seconds. The vehicle's starting to move forward. I have to apply the brakes. Check that out, guys. That is something else right there. How about that, guys? The Jeep Wrangler Adaptive Cruise Control was able to bring the vehicle from highway speeds all the way down to a complete stop with someone in front of me. It actually kept that distance of 4 car lengths along with the speed, brought it down to a complete stop. Then it canceled the cruise control. I'm not advising that you do that at all, okay? I just want you to know that it has the capability of doing that. Hope you learned as much as you can about the adaptive cruise control and some of its features. I hope you're smarter now than you were when you started this video, guys. Have a great day.